So I played 2 games this week. First on the list is they finally patched...
Yeah, Liam, you got skipped.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I figure
I'm sitting here between Pat and Matt.
I figure you probably have an exciting story for us.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe.
Okay, fine.
But Pat,
well, fuck it. I don't want to do it anymore.
Do it.
I know all he has to talk about is his stupid FF14 shard.
No,
Tell us about your Link shell shard.
Link shard shell.
Tell us how you finally figured out that it's Monster Hunter.
And Chewy Fork Face is
hold
hanging out
on.
with you.
Stop it. Stop. Okay. So they finally patched the durability bug in Scholar of the First
Yeah,
Sin.
they did.
And I played a bunch of that.
Yep.
Over the past week.
What do you think of it?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's super weird.
What do you think of the new enemy placements?
The new enemy placements, in general, so far, I'm only up to the Bastille, are pretty good. I actually really like them a lot. They've taken away
Now,
a lot of the weird dogs into the Bastille, and have just left regular enemies.
Are you trying to play it straight, or are you trying to, like, gun it?
I'm trying to play it straight, but I'm ending up gunning it. Because the game's early part is much easier.
I was gonna say, do you think the new enemy placements are like more like funsies and bullshit, or is it like a rebalance?
So here's how I feel about the enemy placements. I think they do weird things, but it's very obvious that you're playing a remixed version of the game that seems to assume that you beat the original version.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Which is the weird part. It's like, this isn't gonna get me if I'm actually new. It's only going to get me if I thought I knew what this zone was.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So, probably the best example I can think of...
Put a boss where a bonfire used to be.
Dude, fucking, not Flexile Sentries, but what are those
Pursuers.
stupid ones?
So, yeah.
There's the Pursuer, but what's the one with the sword on the front and the sword's on the back? That stupid guy?
That's the Flexile
Sentry.
That's the Flexile... Fucking regular enemy now.
Yeah.
Well...
It was before.
No, but now he's
early on.
A bunch.
But, let's take the very first fight with the Pursuer in the Cardinal Tower
on the
castle.
Yeah.
On the rooftop. Not the boss fight, the one where he just shows up.
Pre-boss fight.
So first of all, the area before that has the Turtle Knights instead of just the regular enemies. And the Turtle Knights have been dramatically depowered. Like...
Turtle Knights.
Well, they're...
The big guys who fall on.
They look like
turtles.
turtles. But you can kill them in 4 swings.
Okay.
It's crazy. So they're all over the place now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you go through there and you climb up and you kill the guy that's throwing rocks at you. Molotovs.
Yeah.
And you notice that there's 4 or 5 items on that area. So like it's more incentive to go up there because there's all these items.
Yeah.
And they're all on dead bodies. And then Pursuer fights you, and he's the Pursuer. You get Twinkling Titanite when you kill Pursuer now, which is great because Twinkling was not
super valuable.
But
right away.
What's that?
Like right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time you kill Pursuer, you get 1 Twinkling Titanite. Okay. So those weapons.
Granted, it's not useful early in the game.
Well,
sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But you'll be able to build it up faster.
Yeah.
But so you kill Pursuer. I killed him on my first try, and I was really happy about it. And if you kill Pursuer, and you're like, whew, I did it, don't take a break, because some of those bodies are going to get up and rush at you from all 3 corners. As soon as he dies, they start to get up, and they all attack you. Now, if I wasn't taking a break, because I knew they weren't going to be there, I may have been more vigilant. Mm-hmm. But I knew they weren't going to be there, so it caught me.
Right, okay.
And... I didn't die, but it. Whoa! Wow!
They got some good hits in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little details that I actually really like. Now all the giants that you find, that you go to the memories later.
Yeah.
The trees.
The dead giants,
you find enemies attacking them. You find enemies like
swinging at them,
shoving their faces into the geometry and swinging their swords over and over and over when you encounter them, because they're soldiers that are still trying to fight again. Like that's a nice little detail. They've totally rejiggered tons of the way the path through the game is. You can't complete the tutorial anymore without a fragrant branch of yore.
There's a stone guy.
Like you know the last fog door that has the bridge you push down that leads to the 2 ogres. There's a stone guy in front of there. Wow. And the whole area is filled with basilisks. And it's way, way tougher. Okay. And then when you go fight 2 ogres, Pursuer pops out of the floor.
Wow.
And it's the superpowered
in front
version
of where the
Pursuer.
coffin was. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's the superpowered version.
So, but there's no actual geography changes.
No. But they have done what they can. Yeah, I have fought Pursuer 4 times by the time I got.
He just keeps coming.
By the time I got to Ruined Sentinel.
Wow.
He showed up once in the tutorial, once in his usual spot, once in the best. You know that room that you kicked you're supposed to kick the barrel down and it explodes the dogs.
Yeah.
And then you run across and open up the chest to get a key.
Mm-hmm.
You open up that chest. He silently comes out of the ground behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nuts.
He's pursuing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Okay.
he shows up like 10 times. It's nuts.
Okay.
To go to fight the Rune Sentinels, you also need a Fragrant Branch of Yore. Like
Now it's
but now
like
you can
easily
get
obtainable.
that.
and
Yeah.
you buy one from the very first merchant.
Okay.
Like that, and
Interesting.
so you want to sequence break it, fine. But now you like they give you more branches and more stones, but it's like annoying because like, oh, I got to use this to get to Rune Sentinels. Yeah, but you could also use it to get to the woods now
Right
instead, right away.
Yeah.
And also, what I noticed is that they've totally rebalanced some of the enemy types. The hardest enemy in the game that had the most amount of kills in Dark Souls 2 Vanilla was the Greatsword guy, the Royal Greatsword enemy that
Right.
you fight a lot in the Forest of the Giants.
Oh, okay.
That was just really bad for newbies. They've been toned down. Rune Sentinels are now hilariously easy. They take like 3 times as much damage.
I think probably
Sick.
the most important thing
Sounds
to
like a
know
fun
is,
fight now.
Did they? It's where you're
Yeah, it is. It actually is a fun
It
fight
must be
now.
satisfying
Yeah.
to just wipe the floor with them.
You're only going to know later, but did they change the requirements for opening up the last gate?
I don't know.
You know,
They
Souls or 2 million.
they
or
have
something else.
those those fancy guards with shields and swords from the castle.
Yeah.
Those are standing in front of all the king doors now,
Okay.
and that's a nice little lore thing. And the other thing I noticed is like when you get to the Bastille, you take the bird that gets you to the Bastille.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right in front of you is the chest that gives you the dull ember.
Oh,
Immediately.
No kidding.
You can and the basilisks that you fight in the tutorial drop infusion stones.
Okay.
So you want a lightning weapon right
Go
now?
talk to fucking
do it.
dude. Yeah, okay.
that's cool.
Yeah,
And it
alright.
appears that I'm not sure, but it appears that the crows have had their rewards de-randomized.
Okay, so they're fixed now.
So they either go on a fixed order. It seems like a huge improvement.
What would you think about a game like that, or like let's say Bloodborne, or any of these FromSoft style games, having a feature that was like new game plus random seed, and it's like this is a thing that can randomize enemy placements and
Yeah,
such,
of course.
but might break your progress.
Yeah.
you don't know what
Sure.
you're gonna get.
Mhm.
But it's a risk. Do you think that'd be
Of
like
course,
a
of course,
worth
that'd be
thing to
great.
put in there?
The one
Yeah,
thing that they
for
have
sure.
done balance. There's 2 things they did balance wise. Is since you get Titanite a lot easier. I beat the Rune Sentinels with a +5 mace like right away. But the weapon balance of the game is now different because the durability bug is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Like weapons that would break constantly don't and are now way better. Like I cannot wait to get the Great Sword again because it's going to be the best that it ever was. And the other thing is that they have fucked with aggro ranges. Like, you know how you could tell where some guys would have zone walls?
Yeah.
They have extended some of those aggro ranges
Awesome.
way farther in some directions.
That's really cool.
So,
If you're not playing with other people, you're also probably not getting the other major
hates...
benefit.
No, you do. So this is something that I don't care what they got to do. I don't give a fuck. They have to start putting this in new games. I don't care how many resources you use. It is such an amazing feature. They have added, so you can play with more people on multiplayer.
Yeah.
Who cares about that shit? When you go up to a bloodstain and you click on that bloodstain to see the death, any bloodstain within 10 feet will all play simultaneously.
Sick.
So when you see a pit that has lots of blood and hit it, you see like 10 guys throw themselves off the edge.
That's way better.
When you see a bunch of bloodstains around a corner, you see a bunch of guys
Everyone
turn the
dies.
corner and just eat it.
That's way better.
It's awesome.
That's
it's
really
awesome. So far, I'm liking it a lot, but it's really weird.
You didn't
It's
get to any of the DLC areas yet, did
I
you?
know. I'm only the best deal.
Do you know if they're remixed? Or if
I
they're...
don't know. Supposedly, they're not remixed as hard.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Really, really, I like it. I like it a lot.
You're playing on PS4, PC?
That feature
PC.
is fucking great.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's almost like lore.
And they didn't talk about it because it's like a minor feature, but it's
The
awesome.
legend of that one corner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like
Because there's parts-
It's like in Meat Boy where you get to
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
you know, all
you get to see them all
the
slide at the same
all at
time.
once,
Yeah.
And those parts where I was going backwards through the Bastille, getting to like this dark hallway where just bloodstains are everywhere, and you're like, what
click on
happened?
each. Like, no.
Love that.
2 years later.
I also played about like 10 or 11 hours of Scholar of the First Sin. After your suggestion, I was bored and said fuck it, and I sat down and streamed over like 11 hours over 2 days. Scholar of the First Sin has some massive improvements to that game.
Mm-hmm.
For one, Pursuer chases you constantly in the early game. I think you fight him 8 times.
That's great.
You open a chest and turn around, he's there. You climb a ladder, he's there.
Wow. Is there space for him?
No.
Wow.
Okay, here's my favorite. This is the one that I'll spoil for you because it scared the shit out of me. You remember? You beat the Ruined Sentinels.
Yeah.
You go down to open up the chest and in that little room underneath the bonfire.
Yeah.
You go to open up the chest and you go to turn around and use the Pharaoh's Lockstone and he's there.
Wow.
He just spawned out of the ground as you were opening the chest.
Do you actually are you beating him or running each time?
I'm beating him, and he'll respawn every time.
He shows up every time. Okay.
And he drops a Twinkling Titanite. So there's your early game source of Twinkling Titanite.
all the changes I've heard about.
You get the Infusion Ember for Macduff immediately, like as soon as you get to the Bastille, and because of that, you get his weapon selection right away, which means in Dark Souls 2, the early game weapon selection was pretty sparse. By the time you get to the Bastille, you get access to a big hammer, you get access to a katana, you get access to these kinds of weapons that you'd want to carry the whole game.
The changes to the Hide Knights are interesting. Putting them in the tower flame is
and they changed
good.
the way their aggro works.
Some of them actually get up.
Yes, once you defeat the area boss, they all aggro as regular mobs.
Oh, they all get up.
And they wander like the Bloodborne enemies. And they're super tough. And it makes that super easy area really hard because now, in addition to fighting the knight, you have the ancient giant knights. You have the Haid knights just wandering around.
Huh. Also, there's a dragon right in front of Ornstein.
Yep.
It's like, what the
sure
fuck?
is. That's to stop you from getting there too early.
How about you do your job, Dragon Slayer?
Nope.
It's right outside your door.
I don't have to.
Nope.
Okay.
That's your name.
They also took enemies that only existed in New Game Plus and put them into the base game.
Of course.
Which means I'm seeing enemies I've never seen before, and they're awesome. There's a ninja type enemy that we never saw that is fantastic. And there's a new boss, and there's a bunch of new NPC invasions. But overall, it seems like they polished out some of the weaknesses and they moved some stuff around to make more sense, and they made a bunch of improvements. The weirdest change by far is there are now 17 statues that you need to use a fragrant branch of Yore on in the game. They'll lock out all sorts of shit.
God damn.
They're all over the place.
Are they? But they're not blocking places.
They sure are.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, in the tutorial. You know the tutorial path?
Yeah.
You know the one that you go left to fight the area with the 2 ogres?
Yeah.
That's sealed by a fragrant branch of Yore.
That's fucking annoying.
They're all over the place. Sometimes they hide Estus shards. Sometimes they hide areas.
There's got to be a really easy way to get them now.
But overall, it's like, yeah, it's a huge improvement. Like a lot of the changes just feel really nice. A lot of the balance changes feel nice.
Have you done any like larger? Oh no, wait, no. They brought about the 6-man.
Yeah, PC's
things.
kind of dead.
Yeah, okay.
PC's kind of not popular with that.
And the other thing was
I got summoned once.
Okay. And the as far as the improvements go, like the difficulty being up and whatnot, there was the video that we were talking about that mentioned like some points of it were just like ridiculous with how they expected you to overcome the placement of some of these enemies.
Yeah, placement seems better in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Like the area you climb up a ladder on the Forest of the Giants and you get the big tree in the center, and it's a big open room where 100 soldiers spawn.
Where you see the first Haid Knight.
So now the hate knight's gone, and now they only get up as you get close to them, so you can deal with them as like they come.
Yeah.
And instead of a guy shooting arrows, which are hard to see, it's a guy tossing the bombs, which is a little easier to deal with. Oh wow, the best technical change that didn't go forward, and I'm pissed because I want this. So now, if you go up to a bloodstain and the bloodstains are within certain proximity to each other and you hit them, you will see a Super Meat Boy style 10 to 20 bloodstains all playing simultaneously.
Oh, yeah.
And you will really, really see what got these people.
Overall as a group.
Yes. So you go up to a ladder and you click on it, and there are 9 bloodstains around you, and you see everyone.
All of them.
You see everyone just back step off the ledge, and you go, okay.
Oh,
all right.
Wow, yeah.
And
I think we talked about this before.
And it makes me upset because that's awesome
so
implementation.
Smart, man.
Why isn't that why wasn't that in Bloodborne? Why wasn't that in DS3?
Fuck.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's real solid. It's real good.
Cool.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
I think for me, did I watch anything important? No.
Yeah. No.
My life is empty and filled with video games.